FAQ. Will I own my own house? Initially, that would be prudent that everyone owns a house. But inevitably, as we evolve into a higher awareness, eventually it is anticipated that we will no longer own a house, but that we will have the use of a house from birth to death, and that it will pass in a way that is best for all once we leave. There will thus be no ownership transfer of anything that is of the earth to the children, because nothing as such would be owned eventually. But in the beginning and during the transition periods, we will first go through a period where we, for instance, will have a basic income grant, and where property ownership will be important, so that one can restore initially the experience for each one to own property. But one will not be allowed to own more than one property. You will own property according to the family size and according to your particular needs, not as a form of wealth. So property will have no value. You'll not be able to sell property. You'll be able to exchange property. Say you are in France and you would like to live in Spain, and you can find a family that would like to exchange houses. You'll be able to do that, but you'll not be able to sell it, as property per se will have no intrinsic value but to be a support for you as life while you are on earth. And your responsibility would be the upkeep of that as a representation of who you are, as a representation of your character, as a representation of your understanding of your value as life. If you do not upkeep your property, it will be interpreted, which it is, that you do not value life, and therefore you'll be seen as a risk to society, and again there will be intervention. We will not wait till there is consequences that can never be fixed. Intervention will happen at the early stages where behavior problems are indicating a dysfunction, before there is consequence, because consequence will be prevented at all times. As it has been presented in the holy books, we will roll the stones away from our neighbors' feet so that they don't hit their toes and bleed themselves half to death or go into a rage because nobody cared. We will care as humans for each other. That is equal money. That is what you've dreamt about. So if anyone try and misdirect you from this, know that they are in fact dysfunctional and will require correction. Make a note so that in the future, when we get to that point, we can immediately accumulate all the dysfunctional beings and sort them out so that they can also have what we already understand to be a truly great existence and life. We also would like to share it with them. Therefore, as an act of neighborly love, we will support them immediately with the necessary correctional activities and support psychologically. Wouldn't you have liked it if you were disenfranchised and unable to actually experience the greatness of life yourself? Wouldn't you like to have the problems that is imprinted on your water be corrected? By the way, we will be, during the next 8 years, through the laboratories we'll be setting up, show how psychologically a person can be measured in the physical to show where there is dysfunction and how that can be corrected. Therefore, psychology of the future will not be what you have today. It will be a physically measurable point where the physical body will be able to be photographed, and within that one will be able to show the pattern that caused the dysfunction, do the correction, then cross-reference and check the correction, and in that such a way there will be no dysfunctional humans. And free choice would be you restored to a state where you can choose the highest life possible. Then you are free to choose. Any other form of misdirection as free choice as it exists within capitalism and socialism and democracy currently is completely unacceptable, because there is no guidelines morally that can allow such abuse to continue to exist. So join us as the group expands and as more and more write themselves to freedom. Read all about it in the blog books. It's there regularly, monthly. Support us and join us. We're the future. Be part of it.